Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel and I'm your host Kabir Aditya. As you all know, we have a show going on Dil Dosti Travel. Basically, we gonna go over a bunch of hot Bollywood movies that relate to the theme of friendship, love and related to traveling. Before I continue what movie is going to be today, I've already done Dil Chahta Hai and I've analyzed it. You can go check it out. The next movie today that we're going to be analyzing right now is Zindagi Na Milegi Dobara. So let's begin. Zindagi Na Milegi Dobara. For the non-Hindi speaking audience, Zindagi Na Milegi Dobara means you only live once, basically. YOLO this is the YOLO version of the Hindi version of YOLO, basically. So the movie is more like a sequel, I think, to Dil Chahta Hai. An unintended sequel. I don't think it was intentional, because Dil Chahta Hai was about when you just finished university and you're entering the new adult phase of your life. You're trying to get a job, you're moving away from your friends, the friendship is not same anymore. How are you going to hold on to it? Zindagi Na Milegi Dobara takes a step ahead when you're already working. Your next phase is when you're going to get married. You're adults. You're not the same person from what you were in your university days. And you've changed as a person. The friendships changed. And you always want to have a reunion. It's been like 10 years after university, you could say, finished. And you're like, oh, let's have a reunion, blah, blah. We've all had the idea of arranging a friend's trip to go somewhere exotic. So that's what I think that's the reason it's like an unintentional sequel. Why, despite Zindagi Na Milegi Dobara getting criticism for the fact that it's about upper middle class and rich people and they're traveling abroad, not everybody can do that. Why do we still love it? Why do people who are not as rich, or people who can't afford to go to like exotic countries abroad for holidays, who can't even afford to have a reunion with friends for whatever reason, why are we so connected to the movie? Why do we love it so much? What's that emotion? I think it's the way the characters were presented, what they were written. I think regardless of the social class, you can connect to the beauty of the characters. For example, Hrithik Roshan. His importance was always about, he was stuck in the past. He didn't let go of certain things, like the beef he had with Farhan Akhtar, and also the fact that the materialistic importance that he gave in his life. He always went through the struggle of not being financially strong. So when he was financially strong, he just wants to keep working until he has enough, when he thinks he has enough. We've always met someone like that, whether it's a boy or a girl. Farhan Akhtar is someone who has a very unique story. Not everybody has that. Their actual father is not their biological father. Not everybody will connect to that. But the love he had for the non-biological father, the emotion he felt for them, the parents, and the father-son love, if that people can connect to, and that regret he had, that how could someone like his biological father just leave. The way the emotions were presented in that, I think people could connect to that. People especially who have divorced parents can connect to that story of why did you guys get divorced, or to the father or the mother, whatever. That factor, I think, is the reason Farhan Akhtar's character is also very relatable. Although he was also shown as someone who's not very wealthy and stuff. Abhay Deol's character, we've all been there. We're basically any person who's basically the more matured, refined version of what they were in university. They're the same. They joke around a little bit, but they're still very mature. They're kind of like an introvert types. They're on their own. They don't have any conflict with anyone. They're the kind of people who know all the secrets, but they don't reveal it. Like he knew the girl, they both were dating. Basically, the problem Hrithik Roshan and Farhan Akhtar were having was Hrithik Roshan's ex, and Farhan Akhtar was basically Hrithik Roshan's girlfriend cheated on Hrithik with Farhan, and he was pissed at Farhan that how could you date her? You're my best friend, blah blah. Abhay Deol knew all of that. That after she basically used Hrithik, then she dumped him, then she was with Farhan, then she dumped you also because she was cheating on you. So he's the kind of guy who knows everything about everyone, but kind of not reveals it. We've all related to that bit of the character as well. And the fact that when you're not ready for marriage, the central theme of his character, when you're not ready for marriage, you're not ready for marriage. You have that family pressure, you're into that family business, blah, blah. And then you're like, how do I kind of say it? Because you kind of didn't have to pick a career. You kind of just went with the flow of the family. Similarly, in marriage, you kind of just go with the flow of the joint family. Your voice, inner independent voice, kind of gets bogged down. Everyone's been there, especially once people who have a large family or are in family business. So I think the characters were central to this movie that is the reason a lot of people connected and enjoyed the movie. The next thing I think was the location of the movie, Spain. It was more than just an exotic location or more like a tourist advertising for the country. When you see the way the movie's filmed, you feel so free. You feel like it's a different vibe. You feel like letting go of your past. You feel like going with the flow. You are excited about your future. You're not even thinking about the future, actually. You're just living the moment. The way the movie's filmed in Spain, it's so beautifully filmed that they've captured the location. Because Spanish people themselves, when you meet them, I've been to Spain, I have lots of Spanish friends. When you meet them, they love living in the moment. They don't worry about what happened in the past. They don't worry about what's going to happen in the future. They live for that specific moment. I think the vibe of and the energy of the people is radiates throughout the country, and that's what got captured in the movie. And that's beautiful, I think, how the movie was shot. And also, the beauty of the country that was shown was how emotions connect people. You don't need to know the language of Spain. For example, Farhan connected with Katrina Kaif's friend. He doesn't speak Spanish, she doesn't speak English, but why did they vibe? You can tell that when she's looking at his eyes, she's like, I can see a lot of pain. And he's telling her like, yeah, I never knew my real father, blah, blah, blah. They feel each other's energy. Like, you don't need language to connect and feel emotions about each other, you know? That was one beauty, I think, people connected to it. The Tomatina festival, it's basically like a Holi, like another version of Holi that we celebrate, the festival of colors in India. Obviously, Indians are going to connect to that as well. The scuba diving, skydiving, and all of that, of course. Especially during scuba diving, the way Hrithik faced his fear and how he feels free from that. The liberating feeling. Like my father, when I talked to him about the scuba diving bit, he was telling me like, I want to do that because I want to have the same feeling, because I could sense how quiet silence in it. Nobody's there to disturb you. That silence, that peace, I want to also experience that. That's also the reason I think why people connected. The skydiving is similar, facing fear of heights, death, and all of that. So besides the location, I think we can all agree on this one. The music of the movie. The music of the movie is the soul of the film along with the location, because every song that is made, it hits you in the bullseye. Whether it's talking about Dil Dhadakne Do, just let it go, kind of just feel, just let your heart beat. Let it do its job. Don't get in the way. Let life take care of itself, at times. Then you had Khwabo ke parinde. Ure Khwabo ke parinde basically means the birds of wishes are finally flowing, like you're finally doing what you wish, you're kind of getting there. Señorita, the song, the fun, dance, everybody's dancing, it's the perfect fusion of the cultures of the Spanish side and the Indian side. Like, we Indians love our music, we love dancing, but because they're in Spain, they vibe with the Spanish music, the Spanish dance. They're not doing their bhangra. They didn't mix like, let's mix up dhols with it and let's tease them. It was so beautiful that they didn't just Punjabified or Bollywoodified, typical Bollywood movies that do end up having a bhangra sequence in there somewhere, and you see Spanish people just have no clue what's going on in the background and they're just like, yeah. This was beautiful, where the tourist embraced the host country's culture. It was something very fresh, refreshing to the Indian audience as well. That how the Spanish vibe, people were liking it, enjoying it. When I was in cinema, I remember people were like, really wanted to dance to it. So I think music really captured the essence of the film. And also the one song that I love was Der Lagi Lekin Abhay Maine Jeena Seekh Liya. That is when all of these characters have kind of resolved their problems that I had mentioned at the beginning. How beautiful, simple. Der Lagi Lekin Maine Abhay Jeena Seekh Liya. It took a while, but I finally learned how to live life. Wow. And a lot of you are either going to agree or disagree, but it's something I noticed. I don't know if you've noticed. If you do, after hearing what I say, please do mention in the comment section down below, because costume of the film, the clothing of the characters also show the character progression. If you look at Hrithik Roshan at the beginning, he's wearing very tight formal clothing, buttons closed up top, wearing a tie, proper, like his attitude towards life, work, very robotic, emotionless. As he slowly does the scuba diving sequence, he meets Katrina, he's more in love, he's finally letting it go, he's understanding, his hair becomes loose, the buttons open up. He's not even buttoned up. Forget buttoned up. He's half of his shirt is like opened up. He's not even wearing a watch, which means he doesn't care about the time. What time is it? He's just enjoying the moment. A lot of that. He's not even tucking his shirt in. So that, I think, was a lot about his character that portrayed. The costume itself showed how easygoing he's slowly becoming, you know. Farhan Akhtar had that with his, you know, when you wear a hat and sunglasses, obviously he's on a holiday, he wants to look good, it's summertime, the sun is shining. That's part of it. I also think that was when he always wanted to conceal what was going on inside him. He never wanted to reveal it. The glasses, the sun, the hat. When do people wear it? Generally, to hide their identity. It was kind of a metaphoric gesture that he had. He was wearing a hat and the glasses to kind of conceal what he's truly thinking. That's why he's always trying to make jokes and be the funny guy. Like, as they say, the funniest guys are actually the ones with the saddest hearts. So I think that was the part of him. As you slowly see when you met his biological father, played by the beautiful actor Mr. Nasiruddin Shah, when he's finally accepted at him and he finally apologizes Hrithik Roshan for cheating on, you know, being with his girl and blah blah. He's not wearing a hat anymore. He's not wearing glasses anymore. He's open. He's free. He's not so even he's still in the same country, same weather. It's not like the weather completely changed. He's not wearing that anymore. I think that was a beautiful metaphoric gesture through clothing that I saw. Abhay really didn't have much in the change in clothing because he was the kind of guy who ends up telling everything to his friends. He shares everything slowly, but he shares everything at the right time. So there was not much of a change in character, except you could say he finally just confronts that, tells his girlfriend, I'm not ready for marriage. That's it. There's nothing wrong with it. They kind of showed in the movie at the end like as if they both can't marry ever. But I think it was just the idea he was not ready for marriage with anyone. So there was not a specific change in character you could show through clothing like they showed for Farhan or Hrithik. So I think that was the beauty of the costume in the movie. A lot of you didn't notice it, I know, because when I talked to my parents about it, they were shocked when I explained that to them. So we finally come to the conclusion, the ending of the movie, running with the bulls. Were they really running with the bulls? Was it just them doing an activity, facing the fear, or really something more than that? I think it was more than that. We can all agree on that. But what was it? What was the hidden theme behind them running away from the bulls? It was about the fact that they could run away from death. They could save themselves from death. And if they can still live through facing death, they realize that they can face any problem heads on. Get it? Heads on. Yeah, I don't know. But that's what I think. Like Farhan accepting that the love for his non-biological father, that was his real father. He didn't care anymore. Like blood relations, you know, didn't matter to him anymore. It was how he was nurtured and taken care of by the father. And even his friends mention how beautifully he used to take care of all of his friends as well. And then Hrithik Roshan finally confronting love, you know, facing away. He's like, I just want to live freely. You should live now in the moment, you know, because you never know when death is waiting. Something like running with the bulls, I could have died right there. It's just an activity. I could have died in the skydiving. I could have died in the scuba diving. I could have, you know, be dead anywhere. Why am I wasting my life? If I don't know when I'm going to die, why should I wait? You know, I don't even know how long I'm going to live. Him accepting that fact. And then Deol finally confronting he's not ready for marriage. For him, it's like, what will my family say? What will others say? What will, you know, the girl's family say? We're all so closely related, good family friends. Oh my God, I've never confronted. That fear is similar to him facing death. He's like, I just got out of life from this. I'm sure I can survive that. It's a matter of my life and it's a matter of her life as well. I can't ruin it. And he did it. So that's the beauty of running with the bulls. It's not just running away from the bulls. It's them realizing the fact that life after death stops. You live before that as much as you can. And you never know when death is near you. It can happen anytime. That's it for today's video, guys. I hope you all enjoyed it. And if you did, please do press the like button. Do not forget to comment down below what you think about this video. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon and select the all option. So whenever I upload a new video, you get instantly notified. Until the next episode, thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.